Welcome back to the Manosphere Paradigm, the channel where we learn to level up in health, wealth, and hobbies. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. You did? Done. Perfect. Let's get into the fifth lie that Dr. Jen Man is telling. And I want to get into it with you guys, where I'm going through these different, or at least this 14 subtle signs, she calls it, when she gives a lady advice to a lady, saying that these are the signs that you need to look out for, to where you could possibly see if you are possibly dating a misogynist. I call them lies because none of them make sense to me, because she's in her feelings and she is not addressing, she's making statements and shaming you. Just the basic feminist propaganda when it comes to getting in their feelings and not understanding something for what it is and thinking it through logically. So that is what that is what I'm going to do, so that we can look into it a bit more deeper and pull the lesson from it and understand it for what it is. So in her fifth lie that she says, she's saying a guy that is controlling is a misogyny. Um, Shout out to the Fresh and Fit crew. So, Dr. Jen Man says the subtle misogynist controls what you wear, the way you do your hair and makeup. So, some guys like certain styles, and if he tells it to his woman or tell her, you know what, I like that style or like this, and she does it, that's fine. If she doesn't, you know what, cool. But if it is to an extent where, I mean, when it comes to the way you dress, the way you wear, and you carry yourself as though someone that is single, and we all know how someone that is single looks like and dresses, then when it comes to the days, the days of the Instagrams and the TikToks and all the wonderful things that you find yourself doing, there's a certain way women will project themselves. Not all women, but most women, I believe, the majority, the way I see TikTok happening, the way I see Instagram happening, everyone is living their best life and showing their best angles so that they can get all the attention and get hit up in the DMs by whoever they feel is the chat that they really want. However, the issue comes where they do these things when they're in a long-term relationship with someone, with a guy, or even in a marriage, and they conduct themselves, they dress a certain way, and it is in a manner that shows disrespect to the man, as though where she wears very revealing clothes. This is not control. This is covering and protecting your woman as to you being in a relationship with her. But let's go further on as to what she says. She says that this is different than expressing a preference, okay, which is a healthy in relationships. I agree with you. Preferences is healthy in relationships. I just explained why. This guy will send you back home to change if he doesn't like what you have on. Now, if you are dating someone and you guys are just casually dating, you don't have, you cannot, you don't have the right to tell the woman that she needs to go home and change. All you need to do is and say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with going out with you, dressing that manner, or dressing the way you are, because as guys, we know when, even if it's not someone that you're with in a long-term relationship, you're gonna go somewhere. It's a public place. It is maybe a decent, funky, whatever place, and maybe some guy is out of line. He's drunk, or there's some guy that just feel like he's gonna just piss on your parade and he's gonna try his luck and basically hit on your cheek while you're there. Some guys are assholes. It is what it is. And now, because you are with that woman, you now have to go in and stand in and protect her honor. And now you find yourself in a situation which you could have avoided. These are things guys see and guys experience. A lot of women will tell you, no, you're insecure. No, a lot of times it does happen. You see guys that get deleted, get offed because of them getting into a situation where the woman has placed them into a dangerous situation, not because even of her own doing, but to a certain extent by the way she dresses and drawing a certain level of attention that was not going to be good or conducive to them having a good evening. So If you're in a relationship, or if you are married, I totally agree. You definitely can, you can say, I don't like that, and I don't, it's too revealing, or I don't like the way it sits on you, and this is not gonna work for me. You do have the right to say that. And you know what? If a woman tells you, I'm going to be dressing revealing, I'm going to be dressed revealing, I'm going to show out my puppies, I'm going to do what I want to do, and this is the way, you don't tell me. You have all the right to tell her, you know what? You are so right. I agree with you. I have no right to tell you what to wear. However, I do have a choice, and that choice is to extract myself from that situation and relationship and walk away. If it's not what you want, you walk away. So she goes further to say, his control extends throughout the relationship into different categories, such as, but not limited to, your job, eating habits, clothing, hobbies, friends, and contact with your family. The more isolated you are, the more he can control you. Now, I see two things that come out from this. The first thing is that if you are in a long-term relationship, you are now looking, and if you are looking at getting married, you are going to come together and you're going to grow and build together in one, and hopefully have a path that you guys are wanting to build in the same direction. If you have two people coming together wanting to be in a long term and in a marriage relationship, and they both going different directions when it comes to where they want to take the family, it's not going to work. So that definitely, when it comes to jobs and eating habits, hobbies and stuff like that, if you guys, it's gonna be difficult. Sometimes opposite definitely attract, where the one is completely different, but it is good if you are more or less, you guys enjoy certain hobbies that you can try out together and you can enjoy and experience together and build and your bond and the relationship that way. Um, so if there's not things that you guys, you are completely opposite and it's not going to work, then, and it's, you have to voice it, and maybe you try out something, she tries out something, you do, and you do some, try something she likes, and then you compromise that way and see how it goes. But the main thing is that she needs to submit and adopt your frame as the guy. You always have to be setting the frame as the guy, as to not bending the knee, as to not buckling to what she wants and the way she wants to deal and deal with you and have the interaction when it comes to connecting, communicating. She takes forever. She has you waiting. If she does that, she's playing games, and you, like I said, you walk away. So when it comes to these things, I believe these are minor things that's in the direction of, if you're in a relationship and if you guys are doing things similar, and if you are someone that cares about your health, if you someone has a healthy lifestyle, it's definitely not going to make sense if you're going to be with a chick that does not feel that way, that wants to eat what she wants to do what she wants, and you thinking, you know what, one day when we have kids and we want to build our family, you still need to be a certain level, in a certain health level, or fitness level, to do certain things and to be able to contribute to the family in certain ways. So you know what? Yes, we all get big. A lot of times we maybe put on a few extra pounds, but it is all controllable. We can make sure to keep it intact and to have a healthy lifestyle. It is to our benefit, to our family's benefit, and there's a win all around. When she goes further to say, friends, he wants to limit your friends and contact with your family. Now, if the lady and the woman, you get to a point where you get married and you decide that you guys are going to make that commitment and you move forward, you are going to, as a woman and as a man, you're going to cut yourself off from the desires and the whims of your parents, and from both families and your family. A lot of times family gets involved and they create havoc in the relationship when they get involved too much and expect certain things to go the way they want to do in your relationship. And that's where you have to draw the line. This is your lives. You guys are coming together. You are in one accord and you're going in one direction. The Bible says clearly, you will let go and you will cleave to your husband, or you cleave to your wife. That is the way the Bible sets it out. I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you the way it is. So when she says that line, and you as a man and as a couple puts down your foot and blocks off family before, because of certain reasons, because you want to basically, you guys want to bowl together and bond a bit better in understanding, be on the same page, so that if other opinions and other input come in from outside, you know how to deal with it, and you in sync as to how you're going to deal with those kind of challenges. So to me, again, this is just distorting those type of healthy type of preferences and certain controls that you have in your life. And the last thing she says, the more isolated you are, the more he can control you. Now, this, I believe, is a straight dig at women that has decided not to be feminist. There's a lot of women, yes, there's a lot of women that do not like feminism because they do not want to work. They don't want to work their fingers to the bone and come home only to a dog and a cat, and only do it for the fact that they have a wonderful career and they want this wonderful person that can travel. Now, if you do that, that's great. But a lot of times, and most of the time, you have women out here that does not want to conform to the normal um, narrative of being a boss babe, career woman. All they want to do is they want to pick the best option they can in their 20s, settle down, marry, have a family, and build and put their energy towards their family, their children, their husband, and make sure that they are complementing their husband and growing and pushing the family to be the best that they can be for whatever goals and legacy they want to leave behind. Those are still valid, and I would say sought after ideals that women chase, and not all of them are have this boss babe. And I don't want to depend on a man. It's not about depending on a man. It's about building with a man. So this is a way of controlling the woman in telling her to basically let go of that housewife type of mentality. And not all housewives are women that just sits around. There's a lot of them that is productive. They contribute to the family finances by maybe having their own business, the way they run their house. The kids is away. They've got time to do certain things and be able to endeavor into certain in business deals. The Bible again says in Proverbs, he says that a woman that the wife will keep herself busy. She will create make linens and sell it in the market and bring the money back to the family. Those are the type of woman that and the type of woman that men are looking for. That's going to make their life and a life that is peaceful, where they both complement each other and grow together and have a healthy relationship, because our society is the foundation of our society is families. We cannot be having a whole lot of single people out there because no one is having kids, and we're going to see our birth rate plummet, and we're not going to have a certain level of sustainability in our country to run a perfect economy. This is happening not just in South Africa, it's happening around the world, where people fall for the narrative of, oh, the rich, we need to tax the rich, and the rich want to delete us all because overpopulation. But if you think about it, more and more people are marrying later in life. A lot of times, those women that decide to marry later in life, they tend to have difficulty when it comes to birth. And the issue is, the more that happens, our birth rates is going down, our marriage rates are definitely going down, and ultimately us sustaining our population as a country and being productive and healthy is going to become an issue. So what the reality is compared to the lullaby and the narrative that they are selling you, and the garbage they're selling you, it is not in sync with reality, and it's always about telling you this lie. And like Dr. Jenman again goes off with the fifth lie, he's controlling. It's not about that, the fact that he's controlling, it's about the fact that the guy has standards, he knows what he wants, and if you don't like it, it's fine. He's not going to force you to it. He'll just extract himself from the situation and walk away. It doesn't. He's not going to force you. You can cry. No, but I really want to do. You do what you want. You can do what you want. But let me go into a quick reaction with Donovan Sharp. on the Fresh and Fit podcast, where he talks to this girl and explains to her, you know what, at the end of the day, when we all have preferences, and we basically going to get to a point where it is the woman's choice if she wants to do and basically do the things that is required from the guy to be in a relationship with him, or if she's going to do her out and say, I don't want to do it, and thus I'm exiting the relationship. So let's have a listen to what Donovan Sharp has to say on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
What does your value have to do with her going to the club with her friends and having a
Nothing.
good time? But that's what you just
Talk
kind of
about.
connected it
I
to.
well, that's why she's more likely to stick around. Yeah, that's called the checkmate.
No, it's not, because I'm confused. That's why I'm looking.
There's
up.
nothing.
I'm
there's-
also confused.
Yeah, like, what do you mean?
Let me clear up the confusion. The deal is this. It's not that I don't tell my girlfriend what she can and can't do, but for every action, there is a consequence. Most guys don't stand by their principles.
Yeah.
These are my requirements.
Exactly.
Not everybody agrees with them. And I've lost a lot of girls because of it. But this is how I live my life. And if a woman is going to be a part of my life and what I have to offer, then she is going to have to adhere to my requirements. If she doesn't want to do that, no problem.
Exactly. And there he perfectly lays it out to say that at the end of the day, you have a choice. No one is taking your choice away. The only thing is, I myself as a guy, I've got my own preference and my own requirements that I want from the woman that I'm dealing with. And if you want to be with me, those are the things that you have to follow and adhere to. If not, there's the door. It's pretty simple. But guys, unfortunately today, a lot of them that don't have the level of options because they're not putting in the work in themselves, and they get to a point where they take anything they can get, and they are not able to impose these type of not rules, but impose and communicate their preference and what they want in a relationship, because they are so happy to have the relationship because don't have any other options. So a lot of guys, it's a good lesson for guys to understand your worth and to know. Make sure you get your money up, get your fitness, always be on your purpose, and make sure that you constantly learning, you growing and networking, so that you can be that guy that she looks up to. So let's get into it again.
You can be single and everything is fine, but that's just what I require, and I'd never apologize for it.
Do you feel
I think
like
it's not. I don't
Merch.
think you need to necessarily take it in being this like horrendously like, oh my god, the male toxicity way. Because like years ago I was seeing this girl, right, and this was many years ago before I learned a bit and became a bit more savvy. And she used to work in a restaurant. So she worked at this restaurant, and we were kind of living together at this point. She worked at this restaurant, and then she would go out with the other staff from the restaurant after work on the shift, and sometimes she'd be out till like 5, 6 in the morning.
She was getting piped.
She probably was getting
Or
piped.
doing hella blow.
Probably both.
Or both.
Probably both. But the point is,
So he's the guy that stayed at home, had the wife or girlfriend go out on girls' night partying and coming home at 2, 3 in the morning. Ouch.
this. So I found that obvious, as you can imagine. I found that whatever you want to call it, distressing, whatever, right? Because you don't want to be laying there in bed till 5 in the morning thinking, well, is this person getting piped? Is she doing blow? Is she getting piped while she's doing blow? Is she getting what
She is.
What and undoubtedly all of those things were happening. But so off the back of that, now I would not be in a relationship.
Exactly. You don't want to be that guy laying in bed 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning wondering where your girl is if you're living together and she has to come home. That is a crap feeling, and that is where you are now thinking to yourself, you've been out this entire night. Look, after 12 o'clock at night, once it goes to it's 12, people are kind of like sorted out where the what's happening, and there's some, if people are sticking around even further after that, there's certain connections that's being made. And if your woman is one that's wanting to be out partying the whole time, enjoying, drinking, and then coming home after 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, that is not just alarm bells. That is, bruh, let go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Asseblief. I would say, please, that's let's go on.
With somebody who wanted to do that. Now, that's not to say that I believe that a woman shouldn't be allowed to work in a restaurant and go out and party with their colleagues afterwards. That's everyone's absolutely fine. Everybody's free to do what they want. I personally wouldn't want to be in that sort of relationship again, because that's just not something I want to be involved with. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm talking about, boundaries.
Can I ask a question?
There we go. It's all about the boundaries.
Question.
Yeah.
Was it repetitive? Or was it like a one-time thing, like she'll go out with
her? With her? No, I mean, listen, this was many years ago. I was drinking too much myself. I didn't really understand these dynamics. I was very needy at that point as well. You know, I'd gone through this period where I was sort of figuring this stuff out. And, you know, I allowed stuff to happen that shouldn't really have happened. I shouldn't have remained in that relationship.
There we go. The penny drops, basically. The fact that a lot of guys will stay in a certain relationship, they'll see the red flags, more red flags than a Chinese parade, like Coach Greg Adams always says, and they'll stick it through thinking, you know what, she'll change, it's going to get better, she'll value me, and she will be loyal, or she's not that kind of girl. If you are seeing the certain actions and you do not like it, have the balls to walk away and have some self-respect, and not further prolong your pain. Walk away. If she does not respect you and she wants to be out there clubbing it up, enjoying it, doing a thing, she can do that, no problem. But you can just remove yourself from the situation and close that door and move on, because you've got way more options, you've got way more power, and you need to know your worth as a man, and not stay in a relationship being abused in such a way that you're laying there waiting and thinking and wondering where the hell she is, while she's most probably being piped down somewhere else, and you laying in the bed thinking to yourself, I wonder where she is, sucking your thumb.
Because as it turned out, you know, it's very bad for me, it was very toxic and all the rest of it. But that's not a mistake I would seek to repeat.
There we go.
Right. So if then I met somebody else and they kind of wanted to have that sort of dynamic, that's just not something I would tolerate. You know, I just, okay, that's fine, that's your life, but I'm gonna go and find someone else, because that's just not what I'm about.
Cool.
There we go. So when it comes to just having that level of having standard, having preferences, and not being and being not that you're being controlling, you are basically putting saying that if you want, you can be with me if you want to, and we can be in a relationship, you can both, but there's certain requirements that I have if you want to be in a long-term relationship with me. Now, a lot of guys unfortunately don't have that leverage or have that balls to do it, because they pedestalize women, and then they find themselves in these situations waiting and thinking, when the hell is he coming home at 2-3 in the morning. So it's not controlling, guys. If you are having standards and you voice and communicate those standards, and if she doesn't like it, she can go. There's no forcing anyone. You're not gonna tell her you do this and you force her, basically. No. Like I said, she's got all the choice in the world, but you have all the freedom in the world to say, you know what, if you want to do it, this is what you need to do. If you don't, you're out. Done. That's how ruthless you need to be if you want to be successful in making sure that you have a woman in your life that wants to be there and respect you and not embarrass you and put you in certain situations which can be dangerous for both of you guys. But also just having the basic respect. It's not something you have to tell her. She will be doing this on her own, because she looks at you at a certain value and she appreciates that, and she wants to show you that she definitely wants to be with you. These things doesn't need to be communicated. Once you get to that point where you need to tell her these things, then you know you're starting to have some problems. But I hope you enjoyed that one. It went a bit long, but I wanted to just be in depth when it comes to the controlling part, because it seemed to be the first salvo they throw at you when you have preferences as a man. But when women tell guys, I don't want this, I don't want that, you have to earn that amount, you have to be this tall, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to buy this. You know, us as men, we kind of like eat it up, and we become and we create ourselves into that value that we feel that we need to have the level of options. But when men have preferences and voice it, it becomes an issue. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Much. Guys, I want you to watch 10 videos, only 10 videos. Watch them from beginning to the end. Click them, hit the like button, and say, you know what, drop a comment to say what you thought about the video, what I could improve, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you liked about what the content I covered, did you learn, any type of interaction to show me you've basically watched the entire video and have an opinion or comment on it. I appreciate it, and in return, I'm going to show my appreciation by sending you a t-shirt to just say thank you for the love that you're giving this channel, and I'm going to continue to push and give you guys this great content. So I'll check you out in the next video. I'm out.